Okay, we're in this penalty shootout against Besiktas. If we manage to win it, then we go on a two-legged game against Sporting to get ourselves into the Champions League. If we lose it, I think we only have to play one two-legged game to get us into the Europa League. If we lose that, then we go on and go into the Conference League, I believe. We've got a reserve goalkeeper in between the sticks, and we can see the first penalty. And we're going second, which statistically doesn't help us, but at least Pereiro puts into the top-hand corner. Welcome to episode number 4 now, season number 4. This is how we're starting this one. If you haven't worked it out, we're trying to get into the Champions League or some sort of European football after a very good season last season, finishing second place. But I'm now going to focus on this penalty shootout where Bano Sabal puts it into the back of the net. I'm not expecting much from, our third choice goalkeeper now. Yeah, because we couldn't register our new signing goalkeeper, but he hasn't managed to save that one despite going the right way. Now we've got our striker that we brought in because of an injury last year. He was nervous according to the stats, and okay, it's shown there. So we've missed, but it is what it is. Can we save one? We do. It's 4. It's 3-3. Sorry, no, it's not. We need to score this. This is the Russian guy. Russian guy scores. Come on. By the way, we got a red card during that game. If we didn't, I bet we would have won it. 3-3 on aggregate. I did not think we'd do this well against Besiktas. Come on, save another one. It's gone the right way, but it's just gone in. They're hitting them quite soft. And now our last penalty taker. I think I made a decent one for us. I feel like I changed some of the order. No, I didn't. It's Hodge. Hodge is a new signing. I don't think you've met Hodge yet. Hodge, put it into the back of the net. Come on, do it for me. He does, and we go to sudden death. We beat, in a two-legged spell, Slatov Prague, I believe. Surprised that we managed to do that. So happy that we even got this far. Nelson Semedo puts it top corner. We're versing Nelson Semedo. I imagine that's Nelson Semedo, just based upon the name. But it shows the level that we've gotten to already. And boys and girls, we have done well just to get to this spot in the penalty shootout. But come on, CS, take us to the next shot. It doesn't, and we're out. And I assume that now means it's one game of Europa Conference League. I mean, I'm happy with the performance. We did the best we could. But ultimately, the red card sent us over the line. A 2-1 loss is not bad at all. What does it mean for us? Defeat in the next round of the Champions League. If I simulate forward just a few seconds. Okay, I finally worked it out. I thought we were in the Champions Path third qualifying round, but we're actually in the League Path third qualifying round. Champions Path means you get into the Europa League playoffs, but we weren't drawn in the playoffs. But we were in the League Path third qualifying round. Long story short, we're in the Europa League. Losers qualify for the Europa League. If it doesn't end up happening when the draw gets drawn out, I'll be concerned, but I'm pretty certain we're in the Europa League. We are in the Europa League this season, of course, after finishing second place last year. And we've been given some decent fixtures. Starting off, we're going to be versing in this episode against this side. We're in the Bosnian League, which I feel is probably one of the easiest teams you could possibly verse. And then even then, the only real challenging ones are Newcastle, Bayer Leverkusen, Valencia, and Atalanta. I'd hope that we could get results against the rest and go to the second round. That would be awesome. But of course, that Champions League dream did not quite realise itself this year as a result of being knocked out by, to be fair, a very good competition. Besiktas, and it was the Slavia Prague that we managed to beat 10-1 on aggregate. I did not think it would be that convincing. But also, as you can see, it has not been a great start to the season. Losing for Ferencváros and then losing to more teams than we would expect. It's been a really bad stint to the start of the year. Despite the fact that I think that we have greatly improved our team this season. Starting with last season, did we get anything done at the end of last year? No, you already know about him. You already know about Kenny's being sold. So it's straight into this year. Starting with the sales, we did get £2 million for Benjamin Arthur, who was a youngster in our team that we brought in literally just to get that requirement of having 19-year-olds, under 20-year-olds, in our squad. So I'm very happy that we brought him because £2 million has gone a long way. aside from that, it's been lots of small sales of youngsters. A lot of people you won't recognise. Kareski was in the team for some time, and then that goalkeeper was the one who wasn't quite good enough. Holman's gone on a free, which is quite sad to see, but he just wasn't up to the standard anymore, especially in terms of his physicals. And at 34, that's no surprise. Hangier's also gone, who's been starting and playing for us for a long time. Loaned out a few other players. The left back who got injured last year is also gone. And then another youngster over here has gone permanently. But signings are the exciting part. Joe Hodge, as you saw before, taking a penalty, has joined the club and he looks okay. A rotation option, only paying him 3.7. That's a bit more than I probably should be, really. But as you can see, we've got money this year. Kaya also comes in as hopefully our new starting striker. He is currently playing there, scores 4 and 1 assist, which is 5 goal contributions in 6 games. Can't whinge with that start. Corvey is joined, but is injured, and we're having a bit of an injury crisis to goalkeepers at the moment. We had Corvey not being able to be registered in time because we signed him too late. So Doos was meant to start, but as you saw, he was injured in the last game. And again it has happened. Doos has come back from injury, gone injured again, and Corvey got injured, and now it is again Meguri starting in goal in our first game in the European competitions. Not what I wanted to see, but we got to do what we got to do with the players that we have. Next one is Politano, who's joined the club. Still amazing technicals and mentals, but terrible physicals. I think he'll be good enough to do okay for us. Did pick up a 3 to 4 month injury though, so when he comes back, fingers crossed he'll be okay. But it is quite a wee while to wait. We've also brought in Jalo, who's a right back from Sweden. He's played in the Serie B, played in some other divisions as well, but it looks okay. Good rotation option. Dan Byrne has also joined the club, who was expected to be quite good, a leading player in our division, but the physicals are starting to deteriorate. I'm not loving him, but he's Dan Byrne, he's 6'7", and he's 35, so I mean, there's obviously going to be some sort of deterioration, but it is Dan Byrne. Surely there's going to be some corner goals. Next up, we've got Jay Da Silva, who comes in as our new starting left back, I would say, just ahead of our old man who was Nurse. And Nurse is fine, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like Da Silva slightly edges him in the mental territory, and if you actually go into the screen, you can see the defending. It's more Da Silva's way, so I think he's going to be starting. Colwell also comes in as a central midfield cam winger option who should be starting some games from time to time. I like that he's 25 years of age because the rest of our cams are starting to get older, and he's played in the championship, never played any higher than that, but you love to see top quality players coming in. And lastly, we've brought in Pep Biel, who is a Spanish man who's played all around the place, including being in the top division he might have been in, would be, I guess, Olympiacos. 31 years of age, but again, a good rotation option. Wasn't registered for the Champions League squad in time, so he's not available today. But with lots of injuries, we're going to have to go for a bit of a second choice lineup for the starting game against the what was it? Bosnia and what's the country called? Bosnia and Herzegovina. I know the country because Pjanic played for it, but I used to know what the second part of it is, but we're just calling it Bosnian side for now. This is the team that we're going with those injuries. Kramer is only just back, but Burns starts alongside him. Cesare is suspended. So only 3 injuries really, so I shouldn't be whinging too much. The rest of it is exactly what we would want. Da Silva, Boa, Byrne, Okeke, who is, by the way, now our vice-captain behind Bano Sabal, who is on the bench. So Okeke has been our captain for some time now. Nunez is playing in that right-wing spot as an inverted winger. He's not been bad in the cam spot, but I just think with Pereiro's deteriorating physical stats, 10 pace now, lower work rate, I think the cam is the place to play him from now on. Although I loved what he did on the wing, I think it makes more sense tactically, and that does open up the spot for Colwell to play on the left wing as the inverted winger. I could easily switch those two around, but I like having more inverted wingers. And it does mean that even though we're playing fairly wide, still means they cut inside. Kaya up top being our star striker, 6 foot, can nod them into the back of the net. And then an absolutely stacked bench, including some youngsters that look very, very good. A 15-year-old Owane, who looks like he's going to turn into a great player. He just came in our last youth intake. And another one, Falusi, who looks okay, but not quite as good as Owane, who has played some games already, scored in the Champions League, assisted in the league. he is going to be a star, mark my words. But we got to jump into this one. I've talked for long enough. Like and subscribe if you have been enjoying the series so far, and let's hopefully win our first game. It would be disappointing if we didn't win our first game after all of these draws and losses in the league. So let's bounce back, get some form under our belt. Listen to that Europa League music. Hopefully it's coming through. I hope it's not coming through the no, it's not. I don't have desktop audio on, but you should be able to hear that on my speaker and faintly in the background. I'll crank it up for you boys and girls. Listen to it. It's good. It's a good track, really. I mean, it's not the Champions League music, but it gets you hyped, you know? It's like exciting. It's got a build up in there. At the end, it starts to go faster. I don't know why I'm reviewing the music and not talking about the game at hand, considering we're actually conceding the chance. This is being turned down. Oh, no, the end is quite good. Back up. Hope it didn't cut out at the end there, because I do realise that sometimes when I don't talk, it doesn't play anything. Although, we did ignore that highlight. I didn't really see anything in there that threatened me too much. But the stats so far seem to be going their way, so fingers crossed this is our chance now. As Nunez does head it into the back of the net, making himself the first ever European scorer for us in our Honved save. I know that Budapest Honved have been in the European competitions before. I'm pretty sure they've been in the Champions League. I don't think they would have done very well in it. You can correct me down in the comment section below if you are a Honved fan. But it's a good start to the game, and as I said, we expect to be winning this one, and Sibley puts another one in the back of the net. This was the right game to show you. It's going to be nice, lovely, win, and the league already looks like it's not going to quite go our way, and I imagine the rest of the Europa League won't quite go our way. So, you know, it's a mixed bag for us here, but I'm showing you an important, good performance right now. As Dan Burn has the ball. Dan Burn plays it into Da Silva. Da Silva moves it forward and tries to find a player. And he runs into the referee, but he plays it back to a kicker. And now we have it into Boa, who plays that inverted winger role really well, coming into that midfield spot and almost creating a goal. Not directly, but, you know, he passed it forward and Nunez hit the woodwork, which isn't too bad. 30 minutes gone and we're 2-0 up and we're dominating the game. It is going to be a tough competition. I did kind of downplay who we're versing. You know, Newcastle is huge. Other teams are huge. But we certainly have some okay players and some okay opponents that I think we could do the business against and go into that next round. Happy with the performance so far. I am getting a phone call though. So if you are hearing the buzzing in the background, just give me a sec. I'm back. I could have totally just not said anything and just continued on the recording. But there's honesty at the Raxo FM YouTube channel, boys and girls. 2-0 currently, and it is a highlight going our way. Dan Burn on the ball, not looking bad today, playing a 7.1. I mean, it's sorry, I feel like I undersold him. It's just the slowness, you know, like if a player gets in behind, 9 pace is not quite going to get them to catch up to them, but you'd think that the man mountain that he is would be able to nod it away every time it comes near him. I'm worried about Kramer, so I'm going to get him off. I'm going to bring on, I guess CS is my only real option in terms of centre-back options. Pereiro's not having his best day. It was a good opportunity to bring someone else on. Let's bring on Oane. He's very good. He's got good stats already. I think he's going to do a good job, especially against what would be considered a slightly weaker opposition. Wingers aren't doing incredibly well, but I'm not going to bring that off. I'm going to bring Owatara on, who is not getting a lot of game time currently because, again, I think he was injured at the start of the season. He's always injured to start the season off or gets an injury throughout it. But I think Kaya is the better of the two strikers anyway, so he's going to be the starter. But Owatara, good super sub regardless, re-signed for a lower wage, even though we thought, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, we thought he was going to go. Conceded there. Hopefully that doesn't lead to another one. Thought he was going to go. They ended up deciding the same. Same with Slazai. He decided to stay. Considering other options used to pretty much mean they were leaving the club, but now it seems to actually give you the opportunity later on in the season, if you do well, to keep them around, which I like, and it makes more sense. Oh, I know, there, having a very good opportunity, but blazing it over the bar. Away from home, this team is packed. So Bosnia and Herzegovina or something like that. I don't know why I'm even trying. I should have just said the Bosnian side. Getting a decent attendance for a huge stadium. Okay, it's not an incredible attendance, but it is a huge stadium. Hopefully we're making some bank there. Oh, and hopefully you make some bank from each win. I know in the Champions League, each win is like 2 mil. but we do need to focus on winning. That's outside the box. That's outside the box. That's outside the box. I'm not getting stressed, but it's outside the box, boys and girls. There's no stress here because it's outside of the box. It was not inside of the box. No way it's going to be a penalty. There we go. That's good. That's good. Just a free kick. And even then, we've got Dan Burn in the middle to head them away. I've talked smack about Dan Burn before, but clearly he is a very top quality player for us. He's stopping goals from going in, and he's going to be the powerhouse in defence to make sure nothing goes in for the rest of the game. Last sub, I'll bring on Hodge because he is more defensively minded than Barnasabel. I think that's what we need in the last few minutes. Although the substitutes haven't quite happened, we're seeing a highlight. I'm going to say it's not a real highlight. Footy Manager loves to do it. They always give it to you. Although they are attacking, let's not get too stressed. I should have been stressed. It was a real highlight. They've scored. Well, that's made me look like an idiot. And also, that makes me rethink my substitutes. Okay, I'm going to cancel them and do something else. I'd like to see a win. I thought that this was the best game to show. I thought it was going to be a smashing. I think I even said at one point it was going to be like a 7-0 or something like that. That was a dumb thing to say, wasn't it? We're going attacking. And now I regret bringing on Iwane. That was silly. Okay, Okeke can come up into Cam. We'll just get him as an advanced playmaker and then bring on Barnasabel in that role and hope that we can get a goal in the last few seconds to get us a win. We do have a corner. I just talked about Dan Burn. Can he be the hero? Can he put his head onto it? Can he nod it into the back of the net? We don't even get to see the highlight. 1 minute and it's a draw. Well, that was, I think if there was a chance to win a Europa League game, that would be the best one. I'm disappointed with that. I don't know why I would be happy with that. That was poor. We were 2-0 up and we let it slip. I'm really annoyed about that. And Foldy's leaving. Don't have to update you about that at the end of the season. Well, any prize money? 180k. We'll take it. We will genuinely take it. 7.415. Yeah, they're going to have to start giving me some more budget because £73,000. That is not what I'd expect. But we still have quite a bit in the tank, so there might still be some more signings coming. And just like in the Division 2, I never said, but you can bring in players on a free signing whenever there's absolutely no registration apart from the the Europa League that we need to worry about. So more signings to come, hopefully. Throughout the season, hopefully we improve. And some more money coming into the account can only mean a bigger budget next year to get better and better as a squad. Might not quite be where it needs to be right now. We're 2 games away from the end of the season and only 1 away from clinching that second place spot, which last season would have given us the Champions League, but in this season gives us Europa League, admittedly without having to do any sort of qualification, which is lovely, but Champions League would have been the dream. Isn't going to happen this year, unfortunately, but we have been doing okay. It's been actually pretty bad. I think we've lost a lot of games that we really should have won, and nothing against Ferencváros this year, which is really disappointing. So really showing that they are the elite team in our division by quite some distance. That was a nice voice crack. Europa League went really well, though. Really well is maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but we lost to Newcastle, beat Bayer Leverkusen. I know, that was the shock and a half for me. And it was actually like a fair game. Like we did get a little bit lucky, but I don't think we were completely outrageously lucky to win the game. We then beat Valencia, where again I believe we did actually outplay them, had a higher XG than them with 1.52. They only had a 0.7. So awesome stuff from us there. Beat this Belgium side, beat Sheriff, lost to Salzburg, lost to Atalanta, and then got Alaves in the knockout stage, and unfortunately they were the team literally just below us in the league standings, so they were right in and around our area. So we did lose to them, and they got knocked out, I assume, later on. I'll check. I'm curious now. Knockout stage, Tree, how far did they go? Alvarez, yeah, they got knocked out straight away by Fulham. So it probably would have been us. But I think that's a pretty good first innings. And it gave us a whole lot of money. And we got a whole lot of money from other ways too. Transfers have been awesome for us this season. Starting with the players that we brought in. After the last time we saw each other, We brought in Byrne. I told you about Byrne. I don't think I told you about De Silva. De Silva managed to join the club, confirmed. I think I told you I was looking to sign him, but he actually did join. He's been a bit of a rotation player as well as a starter. It's been pretty 50-50 between him and Nurse. Then we brought in Colwell, who's a great cam, left wing, right wing. Now considered to be our best one, way above Nunez and Pereiro, so very happy to have him. Beale came in, and he is now leaving for 250k. So happy to make some money on him. No whinges there. No complaints for me there. Then we brought in Anthony Martial. Yep, I'm surprised about it too. He's retiring at the end of the season though, and he was pretty average. He got 2 assists and 1 assist in the league. Yeah. So his stats are good, but he hasn't actually played that well. In terms of sales though, we managed to get rid of quite a few players for some decent amounts of money. The Russian dude left for 250k, which I was very happy about. I think I told you about Foldy already. If I hadn't, Foldy left the club for 20k, and I think I'd already told you about him. Oh, actually, clearly I hadn't. Carestes, who was that? I'm definitely not saying his name correct. He was a cam central midfielder youngster. He left for a few k, and then we loaned out a few people too that maybe you didn't hear about. I probably should have checked where we were up to. Apologies if I'm repeating anything. Joe Hodge also left the club for 600k, which I think was an awesome fee for a rotation player for us. And it seems to be continuing coming. The money is going all right, as we sold another player for £1 million, Jallo, who was just again a rotation player. He has ended up playing a lot of games this year because Boa has managed to get a lot of injuries and a lot of suspension, so he's only played 20 games starting. Though Jaro has actually played 11, but he's never going to break into the first team. 1 mil for a 30-year-old is incredible to me. So it has meant that we've brought in a youngster for 1.5 million pounds, could eventually rise to 2.5. Gabor Forgarkes, who I think is going to be amazing. His stats are really good. He's got the potential to be I think it says improve a lot. No, it says potentially. I swear it said improve a lot. But his stats are looking good. And I think for only 1.1, he'll be a homegrown club player as well, because we're bringing him in at 18. So I think he's bringing a lot to the table. And we have also had Owani playing a lot of games for us this year, coming off the bench. And he's done pretty well. So I think he's a great future prospect. And our youth candidates this year were incredible, with a striker with 16 finishing already. So I'm already thinking next season we might be introducing these two and a centre-back, Kovacs, into the starting lineup at some points, because they look good. In fact, the centre-back arguably looks better. 2 incredible players coming through the youth system. Cannot believe we've managed to get these many good players at the start of this save, but certainly it's going to continue to help us in the future. Unfortunately, Okeke only just started to get a bit of dynamics, but he wanted to leave the club. I told him no. Thank goodness I told him no. He's Okeke. He's really awesome. Apart from that, the team's been chugging along just like you'd expect. Kai's been good. 14 goals. He did have a huge dry spell. I want to say like 7 games without a goal. I don't think he's going to be the player for next year, but he's okay for now. And a good rotation player, I guess. Colwell has been good, as I showed you before. Pereiro's continued to be good this season. 12 goals, 6 assists, and did pretty well in the Europa League as well. Nunez the same, 8 goals, 13 assists, the top assister in the league, if you saw that before. Sibley continuing to do awesome, 9 and 7. Okeke, as I showed you before, continuing to do really well. Not quite that crazy potential that we thought he might have. But still, I'd love to keep him around the club for a very long time because his stats are really good. Then our defenders, we did end up playing Dan Burn for most of the season. He has now just picked up a slight knock. He's been pretty okay. He's not been crazy, but I think our defence has been generally a bit weak. But again, I do think that's because of the tactic that I play, to be fair, to the defenders. So Kramer has been the one that's been next to him, and he's been good. And then we've had Nurse and Corvey, he's been okay. Not made like insane saves, but not getting the worst star rating either, 6.8. He looks good on paper, so fingers crossed he can continue doing well. As I said before, this game would secure second place and automatic entrance into the Europa League. We could lose it and still make it in the next in this game, even if the team below us drop any sort of points, we'll be fine. And that is, I think it was Vasas or something like that. I'm sure I'll get a better chance to see now. Yeah, Vasas, who are just 6 points behind us. So definitely a win gets it for us. Even a draw, I think, might get it for us on goal difference. But I'm not going to show you the next game, regardless of if we win this one or not. I'm pretty confident we're going to get it. I'm just doing you a favour, showing you a game at the end of the season to show you how the boys play football. Because we have been playing some decent football this year. Lots of big wins. But yeah, I do think that defensive solidity is potentially something to work towards. And probably something I need to think about in terms of my tactic. But I like the way Sibley gets involved in the attack. I don't like the way that we concede a lot of goals, though. And the inverted winger seems to work for me. Wing back seems to work for me as well. But I don't know if I actually have the players that suit that incredibly well. I wonder if I just played fullback, potentially things would go a bit better. But it's working for us right now. And we've played the exact same tactic for all of the games in the Europa League too. So and that's worked against, top teams like Valencia and Bayer Leverkusen. So I feel like it's kind of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we're still so far away from Ferencváros. I think I'm still saying that incorrectly and changing it every single time I say it. But you know what I'm trying to say. That I don't know if my tactical approach is going to make the absolute key difference as we concede a penalty, which is not ideal at all. And imagine if I simulate forward the next game after losing this game. I'm not saying we're going to lose this game. I'm already thinking quite badly. And then we end up finishing third. That would be horrific. I really hope that doesn't happen. But currently, I'm not picking the best game to show you. It's even a fair, slightly more position going their way, but all of the highlights we've seen have gone to them, and they are one goal up. So I'm going to demand more from the boys and hope that it gets a good response, an average response. Let's win the ball back and let's get an attack going for us. As Nurse tries to win it, and he can't quite get to it, and he's kind of abandoned his man. Maybe that's Nurse now, actually. Oh, they've hit the woodwork. Okay, so it's not a great performance currently. I'm blaming that on Sazalai's poor match fitness, because, to be honest, I don't rotate at all, and I don't think we have that many competitions that we need to rotate. And for some reason, I feel like if you bring them off the bench, in most saves, their match sharpness, or if you play them like once or twice, their match sharpness stays pretty consistent. But in the save, my subs have always been thumbs down red all the time. Unless they start a few games, they just always have the red thumbs down. So I must be doing something wrong. But anyway, he's come back in and he's, I don't know, doing okay, I guess. But I'm blaming him for conceding a goal. And they have the ball once again, and nothing good seems to be coming from us right now. So there might have to be some subs. Although Kramer does pick it up, so this could actually be our first chance of the game. Corvey sending it long. And Colwell's trying to get there. He doesn't, but it does come into Pereiro. Pereiro out to Colwell, who is definitely the best of the three attacking midfielders on paper. Sibley has it, and Sibley puts it into the back of the net. 17th goal of the season. And that's what makes me think that Mazzala role is so important. 17 goals is huge from a Mazzala on attack. Yes, it may mean that if we conceded 17 less goals as a result of having him not there, then potentially that might actually even be better. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. Just over the bar. I didn't actually see who hit it. I was looking away. I don't know why. I probably should have been focused. I was looking at the microphone, to be honest, like I have some sort of a camera. You can't see my face, so it doesn't matter where I look, does it? I should probably just be looking at the game. Kai is trying to clean up the scraps. He can't, but they have it in the right area. I don't think they're going to score. I probably shouldn't have said that because they hit the woodwork. That was frightening and very close. Substitutes got to be made. Colwell is looking tired, so he is going to come off. We'll bring Martial on. Politano and the bench, sorry. I forgot to mention that. Most of the bench have been pretty good. Kane Wilson has completely lost his spot. He is just average as whenever he plays. Does just about nothing. Politano has been fine, but he got a huge injury at the start of the season, so he hasn't played a lot. And when he has played, actually, he's played quite well. So you know what? Maybe I should be getting Politano on. So that's harsh. That man didn't really deserve to ever be dropped. I guess it's just because younger people that are in form, people that have been getting goals and assists, that's the reason why I probably switched them. I've switched literally everything on the wings, I've just realised. I don't know if that's a tactical move that is really frowned upon, but that's what we've done. And hopefully it makes an impact, as 4 new players surely should do something. 10 minutes to go. It's not look like any more shots are coming on the radar, but a highlight is coming our way now as Anthony Martial is on the pitch looking for his first goal in Honved colours. Kramer comes up, has the ball, passes the ball to Boa into Politano into Sibley, who scored one today and scores another. That just happens in this league, you know. The goalkeepers just fumble it, and I swear it actually happens quite a lot for Sibley's goal. So maybe 18 goals, you take it with a pinch of salt. He's coming off a hat-trick, by the way, so he's now got 5 goals in 2 games. That is ridiculous. If you had him FPL, that would be brilliant. And it would be brilliant if we could hold this score, by the way, because that would mean I don't even have to stress about the next game. I can play it off camera and then season review it. Here is Sibley back on the ball, but he loses it straight away, and they're going to shoot, and Corvey doesn't save it. And just as I'm thinking we're in dreamland, just as I'm thinking we concede a goal, and I'm going to make the last substitute be Sibley to come off, get Bano Sabal, who's been a great rotation option, but never been a starter for us, unless, you know, we've had to rotate or something like that. But never actually been a consistent starter. But a good rotation option. They nearly scored. A draw might be a good result now. Oh no, it's another highlight. If we could win this one, and we could snatch a goal in the last few seconds, that would be brilliant. Okeke into Martial, don't lose it. He plays it in, yeah, he's lost it. But that, I don't know why I said that. Martial doesn't exactly play terribly to the point where I would say don't lose it. I just got nervous in that situation. But we won it back, and that's the important thing. Kaya trying to get onto the end of that. He can't, and they win the ball back. And they're passing around, and they get it up. And now I'm nervous that they're going to have the chance to score. We clear it out. Bano Sabal has it. Great substitute. Politano, again, another substitute, loses it. And this is dragging out. And, oh, no, Boa was out of position. And now the highlight's gone so long, it's making me think there's going to be a goal. It's over the bar, thank goodness. 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw. Okay, let's have a look at the I said 2-2 draw and acted like it was over before we even won. Let's have a look at the goal difference. I think we'll be okay on goal. Oh, we're 8 goals ahead. We're second place team. Don't stress. See for season review. I love award day. Forgot about it. Always forget about it. It's a great surprise. Nunez, 3rd in the most player of the match awards. We've got Kramer and Kaya in the team of the season because Kramer was Kaya was 3rd place in the Golden Boot race. Should have been 2nd, but you know, probably less games. Young player of the season was the man that we're signing. Well, that is a good sign. That shows that we are signing a good player. Hopefully he turns into a star, becomes the new Greg Grant. I keep calling people the new Greg Grant. I miss Greg Grant. If you didn't watch oh, he looks good. He looks good. Oh, yeah, let's keep an eye on him. Let's put him onto our list. Greg Grant was the star of Queen's Park save. If you haven't watched the Queen's Park save, watch the Queen's Park save. It was a very, very good save. The episodes are like an hour long, though. Season review coming in just a second. I'm going to stall until it comes. I probably should just simulate forward on my own, but it's nice just to spend some time with each other. There we go. So you didn't have to wait too long. I bet all of you just did the double tap thing where you skip 10 seconds. Colwell is our best signing of the season. Surprising. I mean, Corvey, actually, we didn't make great signings this year. I think I was quite particular about who I signed. Colwell probably was maybe behind Corvey, in my opinion. Not the best year. I mean, it was exactly the same as last year. I think it is really us, and then Ferenc Puskás, and then the rest. And actually, it's us, and then miles ahead of us, Ferenc Puskás, who I think might not have lost. Yeah, they didn't lose a single game this year. 27 wins, 6 draws. So, yeah, they didn't lose a single game. Champions League, we did okay. And even Europa League, we did pretty well. Hungarian Cup, shocking. Moments to remember. The moment to remember, mate, was actually that was a good win in the Champions League. It was the 2-1 win against Bayer Leverkusen. That was incredible. No surprises that our competition prize money has skyrocketed times 7. Mate, we are getting some money now because of the European football. Our 3-star reputation will help us get better players too. Politano, Pereiro, Colwell, Sibley, and Beale getting the top shirt sales. And this is how I would say we lined up if you put Boa into right back. I do not think Jallo played. Actually, I think I proved it before. Jallo did not play more games, so I completely disagree with that. But okay. Best player of the year, fans player of the year, Pereiro. No surprises there. He's continued to be awesome. A 7.23 average rating. I think Nunez is quite close with 7.17, but Pereiro yeah, he's got time in the bank. Okeke, young player of the season, signing of the season to Colwell, and most of it being cleaned up by Pereiro there, and then Nunez for the top assister. Next season, what do they want us to do? They want us to qualify the Europa League again and be competitive. So yeah, I think that's probably going to be I assume our long-term goal. Yeah, we just want to keep doing that. But now, Ferencváros are a big step away, and I'm even thinking about just doing like a big youth focus next season. As I said, we've got some really good prospects, and I kind of just want to give them the game time to see if they can improve, because our our older players like Nunez and Wilson aren't getting any better, and potentially might be time to cash in on them. Pereiro is another one. Like Nunez, if we could get 2 mil for him, that would be awesome. So I'm thinking about doing that, and then just bringing in, the Oanes of the squad, who by the way scored in the last game of the season off the bench. And then the player that was signing up, and then that striker in the youth academy, and that centre back in the youth academy. And by the way, there's 2 other players, Folsey, who's got just about 5-star potential as a cam, and I want to say this one, who's also almost got 5-star potential as a cam. So we've got lots of good players coming through the ranks. We just need to give them time. So subscribe if you're excited for that. Like this video if you have enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next season.